Everywhere you look in world football, everyone is talking about the exploits of Ireland and Scotland both. Well, Scotland qualified for the World Cup, Ireland have qualified for the playoffs due to the exploits of a certain Troy Parrott. You might remember him from his time at Tottenham Hotspurs. He's gone and reinvented himself over in the Eredivisie, scoring 5 goals in 2 games to take Ireland to those playoffs. And hey, Villa are in need of a striker, so should we have a look at him? But first of all, if you are enjoying the content, we are now 19 subscribers away from 3,900. So if you enjoy Aston Villa transfer content, speculation, a good community as well, we have a great community down in the comments, please do be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing, click the notification bell, and then you'll always know when I upload or post or do anything like that on the channel. But let's have a little look at Troy Parrott and see, is he a flash in the pan, or should Villa be looking at him as a possible number 9? So here are his stats for the season. As you can see, it's pretty goddamn impressive. He's only 23 years of age. He'll be 24 next year. His contracted is until 2029, so it would be a transfer fee, probably a substantial one because of the amount of international praise he's gained for his exploits with Ireland. But 185 centimetres tall, so he's about 6'1", 6'2". It's a decent height for a Premier League striker. I think strikers do need to be a little bit on the taller side nowadays. But as you can see, this season in the Eredivisie, 6 starts, 7 games, and 6 goals to his name. And he's been scoring for a little while now, as far back as a loan to Excelsior back in 2023. If I flip the camera over to the other side of the screen here, you'll see his seasonal statistics for each club that he's played for. Obviously started at Tottenham Hotspur. He was at Tottenham Hotspur as a youth player. Went on loan to Millwall. Didn't particularly work out for him. Went on loan to Ipswich in League One at the time. I know we think of Ipswich as like a Premier League championship club now. That was back when they were in League One. And again, didn't really work for him. 2 goals in 18 games. Then he started to find a little bit of goal scoring form in League One. 9 goals and 6 assists for MK Dons. Went to Preston in the Championship. Wanted to push himself at a higher level. 3 in 32. So didn't particularly work out there. Then he went to Excelsior in the Eredivisie and something clicked. Something clicked for Troy Parrott. 7 in 4 in the qualification stages for the Eredivisie. 10 in 25 with 4 assists in the Eredivisie. Now that was enough to catch the eye of AZ Alkmaar, a team we know very, very well from our exploits in Europe the last couple of seasons. Now, he went over there and, sometimes, you think of an Ian Wright, didn't really start playing professional football till when did Palace sign him? And he was like 21, 22. Went to AZ. He would have been about 21, 22 at the time. Got 14 in 30 in the Eredivisie. A return of nearly 1 in every 2. That's like a good striker level. For me, that's what I want. I want a goal in every 2 games, at least for a striker. 2 in 5 in the cup competition over the KNVB Cup, and then 4 in 12 in the Europa League competition we are playing in this season. And again, sometimes you think maybe it's just a one-off. Well, you look at his stats this season and you realise he is bang in form, and this could be one of Europe's next big things. Maybe even the next Robbie Keane, dare I say it. 7 in 7 in the Conference League and 6 in 7 in the Eredivisie. 13 goals in 14 games. It's like Haaland levels. I understand it's not at the same level of competition, but he clearly has an eye for goal. Let's switch the camera back over to the other side, and you can see his recent games. After a spell of not scoring in 3, he has come back with Ireland and got 2 against Portugal, and the hat-trick against Hungary, including a 96th-minute goal to send them to the World Cup playoffs. Got 2 against Utrecht, 1 against Ajax there. His goal scoring this season, it's previous I need to go to, has been nothing short of spectacular. I mean, look at that little run there when he's getting 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. How many games in a row is that he scored in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game scoring streak there for AZ. And we go down, we look at his stats in the Eredivisie this season. It's 6 from an expected goals of only 5.56, 24 on shots, 14 of those on target, so 14 to 6, around that 50% conversion rate that you would want from a striker. He's also scored 2 penalties. Obviously scored a penalty for Ireland, I believe it was, in I think it was against Portugal. They had the penalty. It might have been the second game. I can't remember. No assists this season, to be fair, but a 73% pass accuracy isn't too bad. An expected assist of 0.8, again, is passable. Dribble success ratio this season of 75%. He's won 3 penalties for the team and slotted them all away. And defensively, his stats are pretty good as well. But AZ Alkmaar, is their tactics translatable? Well, if we flip the camera over again, you'll see they play in a... What is he doing, by the way? But they play in a 4-3-3. So he is up front, technically on his own. They don't play 2 up front. Doesn't play with a number 10 in behind him. But again, perhaps that would suit him. We are going to watch some clips of him in a second there. They currently sit 3rd in the league, I'm sure, much to the exploits. I mean, they've only scored 25 goals. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like they're the highest scoring team in the Eredivisie. I mean, even the team that are 7th are outscoring them. So the fact that he's got 6 in this team is very impressive. But let's have a little look at how he would compare against Villa's current crop of strikers. Now, first off, as we look on the screen here at his per 90 stats, and this is versus his professional peers, so other players in his position in Europe's Big 5 leagues, the Champions League, the Europa League and the Conference League, over the last 365 calendar days. So going back to the 20th of November 2024. And it's important to remember he came up as a bit of a forward, so can play out wide on the wing, can also play through the middle. And that is reflected, I think, in his statistics here. Now, the non-penalty goals and the assists are slightly worrying in terms of they're quite low. But then you look at the shot creating actions for his teammates and himself, 4.33, top 2nd percentile. His non-penalty expected goals is in the top 3/4 of players in that position. His expected assisted goals is actually in the 88th percentile. So his teammates really not helping him out. You can tell why they may be such a low scoring team in the Eredivisie. But his combined non-penalty XG with his expected assists, which is the metric that I think is very good and important, I think I've gone through that in a video before, is very good. Top 20th percentile. Only 18% of players in that position in Europe's top 5 leagues can say they're better than him. His passes in the top 12th. His progressive passes in the top 6th. He gets the ball and he progresses it forward. Very, very much like that from a player. His successful take-ons and progressive passes received, also a standout stat, as well as his tackles in the top 20th percentile. Now, if we look at players that FootMob think he is similar to, and they take a lot more stats than just these stats that you're seeing on the screen before. They look into a whole host of stats over the last 365 days, and they look at what players statistically are similar. And some good names have been popped out of the hat. Nicholas Voetmaarder from Newcastle United. Briel Mbolo, a player that is synonymous with football. I think everyone knows who Mbolo is because he was a wonder kid. Kind of didn't work, but now he's getting back on the train. But Griezmann, Martinez in there. Julian Alvarez, obviously playing now for Atletico Madrid. Morata, in there. Nicholas Jackson, Lacazette, who's also doing very, very well he was doing well in the French league. I think he's gone to the Saudi league. Now, it's some pretty elite company. But how does he compare to a certain Oliver Watkins and a certain Donny Malen? Now, there is a lot of stats to go through as we compare Troy Parrott, Ollie Watkins and Donyell Malen in this season for their clubs. So I'm going to get off the screen and we're just going to scroll through and talk about it. So for anyone who is sick of the sight of my face, this next segment is for you. So let's switch over to FootMob now, FB Ref now, and we can have a little look through. So you can see Troy Parrott, 7 games, 6 starts compared to Ollie Watkins, 11 and 10, and Malen, 11 and 3. In terms of minutes, Ollie Watkins has played a lot more, about 300 more minutes than Troy Parrott. Donyell Malen clocking in with the least there with just 300 minutes. Now, in terms of goals, he outperforms all of them. 6 for Parrott, 3 for Malen, which is even more worrying for Watkins, who only has 1. Non-penalty goals is 4 for Parrott, 3 for Malen. And then, obviously, Parrott has the 2 there, as you can see, from the penalty spot. The XG goes in Troy Parrott's favour, but Malen outperforming his XG probably by the best there. 5.6 to 6 for Parrott, but 1.4 to 3 for Donyell Marlon. Now, in terms of progression, here you can see progressive carries. Ollie Watkins does lead the way. He does have the most minutes as well, but progressive passes goes to Troy Parrott. Passes received, obviously Ollie Watkins. The playtime will get you that. Now, per 90 minutes, and this is an interesting stat to see how they do on the football pitch in those 90 minutes. And the XG goes all the way in Troy Parrott's favour. Even Marlon outperforming Ollie Watkins as we look at that. Expected assists, again, Parrott outperforming both as they stutter towards a last place finish together, as you can see on the screen there. And non-penalty XG and expected assists, again, Parrott blowing Ollie Watkins out the water, almost doubling or over doubling Ollie Watkins' output of 0.29. And even Marlon outperforming Watkins with the 0.43. Now, in terms of their shooting, you can see there the goals, we all know that. But the shots, again, it's very, very telling. Even though Ollie Watkins has had over double the amount of time of Donyell Marlon on a football pitch this season, he has only had 4 more shots than him, and Troy Parrott has had more shots still than Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins, the only one there underperforming from goals to XG, so goals minus expected goals here. Plus 0.4 for Troy Parrott, plus 1.6 for Donyell Marlon, and minus 1.3 for Ollie Watkins. So in front of goal, Marlon and Parrott get the nod. In terms of passing, I would imagine this is going to go mainly in Ollie Watkins' favour, as we see here. The completion actually goes in the favour of Donyell Marlon, however, a lot less data there to have to go through. But again, it's all pretty similar across the board, apart from long passing, which Ollie Watkins takes a little bit of a dip. For expected assists there, Parrott does win that as well. None of them have got any assists, though, this season. Now, goal and shot creation. How much are they creating for their team? Let's have a little look. Shot creating actions here. You can see 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot, such as passes, take-ons, and fouls. 18 for Troy Parrott, just the 13 for Ollie Watkins, and 8 for Donyell Marlon. However, per 90, Ollie Watkins severely underperforming the other two. 2.12 for Donyell Marlon, and over double for Troy Parrott there. And again, goal creating actions here. Actions leading to a goal. 5 for Troy Parrott, 0 for the other two. It's starting to stack up in the favour of the red-hot Irishman. Defensively, per 90, Ollie Watkins does stand out here. We know how an Emery team plays, so that isn't too much of a surprise. Now, in possession of the ball, touches clearly going in Ollie Watkins' favour here, but take on success ratio, Troy Parrott at 75%. Donyell Marlon and Ollie Watkins way down there. Donyell Marlon under 30, Ollie Watkins just under 40 there. Getting tackled a lot more than a certain Troy Parrott. And then there's just some miscellaneous stats at the bottom. But this does show you right now, Troy Parrott, he could be the guy. Now, stats are great. We love stats. We love a statistic. We love the analytics. Analysts, is that what they're called? Analysts who are crunching the numbers and letting us know statistically how a player is performing. But you can't substitute the eye test. So let's have a little look. 360 edition clearly clocked on to the fact that Troy Parrott is on the up and up again. And I've uploaded a video saying Troy Parrott is a lethal goal scorer. This is 7 days ago, so this is going to be very, very recent footage. Let's have a look at Parrott on a football pitch. Hello. That's the worst joke I've ever done. And here we go. Troy Parrott with, that's an outstanding save, but showing that he has the finesse on lock. Now let's see here. He picks up the ball out on the wing a lot, like I say. Came up playing various positions across the front three. That is an outrageously good goal from that close. You wouldn't have expected him to curl that into like the top corner from there. Here he is picking the ball up on the right hand side of the pitch. Little jinky majinky. And see you later, goalkeeper. You can't be conceding at your near post. Here he is again picking the ball up. Lovely little dink to finish. The Anelka dink. I think everyone knows that as the Anelka dink. It is the Anelka dink. I'm sorry, but it is. They're cutting back, putting it across the goal. on a plate for his teammate. How did he not get an assist there? And that is the dribbling, the successful take-ons there we're seeing live in the flesh. Brilliant assist there for his teammate, picking up the ball in between the two centre-backs and finishing with his left foot. I enjoy seeing a striker who can finish with both their left and their right. Here he is for Ireland, breaking away. He's got a bit of pace about him, this Parrott lad, let me tell you. And here is he going to square it. He's going to do it himself. Gets a little bit lucky that the goalkeeper didn't save that there. But getting another assist, well, it should have been another assist for his teammate there. Brilliant. Oh, how his teammates really aren't helping him out. You can see, we looked at the stats and we said his teammates must not be helping him out. And now you can see why. Puts it through for a plate. On a plate, sorry. For the number 7, who should get him an assist here, surely. He doesn't. Oh my God, Troy, come to Villa. We'll get you some assists, boy, let me tell you. And again, in the middle of the pitch, he can take a man on. Fantastic finish there. You wouldn't have expected him to go near post there, but he's absolutely done the keeper with a bit of a nukel ball there. Good headed finish there. He is like I say, he's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. So he's going to have an eye for a header as well. Passing it into the back of the net. That's confidence, that is, to just pass it into the back of the net through two defenders. And, oh, that's a beautiful position he's picked up there. Again, another left foot finish there. Left and right. These are important things that I look for. I don't know why that Galatasaray player has fallen to the floor like that. But again, here he is taking his man on. Absolutely spectacular. Great tackle to be fair. Picking it up outside the box. Does he have a strike on him? He does. Just hits the bar there. Lovely layoff. God, he could have about 15 assists already. This like clip there. Picking the ball up there. Oh, Anelka Dink, just not enough on it. But you can tell, look at this, getting back and getting his defensive duties in. Emery would love a player like that. Look, I just want Villa to sign a striker so bad. And I think this lad could fit the profile. He finishes well. His passing range and ability, very good. I mean, how's he not got like 66 assists here? That's a good touch and unlucky there. I think he's a good player. Ultimately, this is all speculation. Look, Troy Parrott is going to be linked with every club under the sun after his exploits for AZ and Ireland. I just know that Villa are in the market for a striker in this January transfer window. It's no secret. I think we need a striker this January transfer window. We can't carry on with Ollie Watkins in the current form. I don't think Marlon is going to be the man to step up and take that starting position. I don't think Emery trusts him to do that. So, ultimately, we need to look for options elsewhere. And sometimes when a player's red hot, they're red hot. We need to get into the Champions League next season. We need an injection of something into the team. Is Troy Parrott the man to do that? Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you soon.